Hello everybody, this is Sit Down and welcome to my 2014 Machinima contest. So, I'm sorry about not getting this out sooner. I'm pretty busy with work, school, etc. I know it's been a really long time since I posted any videos, and pretty much everybody's forgotten about the contest. So, when I post this, I'll probably notify everyone about it being posted so they can see how they did on the contest. Yeah. The reason that it's so late is because I wanted to give the response video, the respect and care I thought it deserved. Because when you're making a contest and you tell somebody they did badly, I want to be able to tell them why, so they can improve and really grow as a director. Because I've seen a lot of people that started out, I thought, pretty horrible, and then turned out to be something great. So I really want to be a part of that process as somebody growing as a director. And I want to see you guys make some awesome videos. And I just want to point out that everybody here has the potential to be a great director. It's just some mistakes that you make that I feel hurt your productions. So I'm just going to point those out and explain why to you that you got the mark that you did. One more thing before I get started. One of the things I want to get into is some of the terms I'm going to be using, just so everybody knows what they mean. Rule of thirds. It's kind of hard to describe. I kind of recommend that you look this up on your own initiative rather than me explaining it to you, because it's kind of hard to explain without diagrams and everything. There's some pretty obvious ones, but another one of those things that I don't think everybody knows was under the 180 degree rule, which is basically just keep your camera on one side of two characters talking. So if you have two characters talking, you're going to want to draw a line on one side of them and keep the camera on that line. So when you take a conversation shot, one character is always facing left and the other one's always facing right. That way it looks like they're talking to each other rather than them teleporting around talking to themselves. It's, So I'm going to start at the very bottom of the list, obviously with the works that got disqualified. So first off, we have Encryption by JRA Productions. This is a Halo Reach machinima, and it was disqualified because of length, which was actually 30 minutes long. And since I set the time constraint to 10 minutes, I thought this was unacceptable. I would have put up with 12 minutes or something like that, but 30 minutes is just too far above the time constraint, and I was not willing to force my my judges into watching that. So I'm sorry, man, but I did tell you that it was 10 minutes. Either way, though, you did get an extra view out of me because I did watch it. The rest of my judges didn't because I told them they didn't have to. But I did, so I thought it was pretty well done. It was pretty awesome. Machinima. It's not very action-packed or anything, but it's pretty deep. So yeah, go ahead and watch that. JRA Productions, Encryption. I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, second for the works that were disqualified was actually my machinima. The final Floodspore Episode 1 by Sit Down in Halo 4. Obviously, I couldn't put that into the contest because I did it and I am a judge, so I feel that would be kind of unfair. Next we have The Truth of Insurrection by Deldour of Infinity Chapter Studios. This is a Halo 4 machinima that was disqualified because the director was actually a judge in this contest, so for obvious reasons I couldn't allow it. Now let's get into the videos that were actually rated. If you did badly, I'm really sorry, but I tried to give a reasonable explanation as to why you did how you did. Now, the way this is going to work is I have 4 judges. 2 of them are actual machinima directors, one of them being me. The other 2 are machinima viewers. We have the Atomic Fish, who is a Let's Player, which you might say is not really applicable, but because he's a good friend of mine, he co-writes a lot of my scripts and voice acts for a lot of my productions. So, since I talked to him about this, it seems he's going to be mostly critiquing your script writing and your voice acting, as that is his area of expertise. Next, I have Risha Devonish, who also voice acts for some of my videos. She's one of the main characters in my series Successor. She was also mostly judging voice acting and script writing because that is also her area of expertise. Then we have Deldour, who is a relatively new Machinima director. His channel is called Infinity Chapter Studios, as I mentioned before, and I feel he's improved a lot since he started, so go check out his videos, they're definitely worth a watch. Because he's an actual Machinima director, he's most likely judging everything rather than just one specific area. And then there's me. And although I'd rather judge your Machinimas as a whole, I felt since two of my judges are already judging script writing and voice acting, I felt I needed to compensate by judging you mostly on your camera work and editing. Although I am still going to get into your voice acting and script writing a bit. So how I judged was, I started you off with a perfect 10, then deducted points based on the mistakes I saw. So yeah, I'm going to start off at the bottom, then work my way up to first place. So, starting at the very bottom of the list, we have Good Morning Gone Bad by Kobol Films and or Enrique Gurule Jr. This is a Halo 4 machinima that is based around an annoying kid, as far as I can tell. This placed 11th with a total of 12 points. I rated it a 2 out of 10. Now, let's get into why it did so bad real quick. So, first off, we have bad rule of thirds. The shots are pretty unappealing to look at. You zoomed out pretty far, and that's bad. Zooming in will create a much more cinematic effect. Camera movement was jerky for no reason. You have choppy transitioning shots. You broke the 180-degree rule several times. And around halfway through the video, the director just seemed to give up on using different camera angles entirely and just starts following the characters around with a free cam. Do I really have to explain why that's bad? I mean, it's really disorienting. Overall, man, I hate to be overly critical, but your camera work is just so awful, I think you ruined your production. And I know that even my judges who specialize in script writing and voice acting took some major points off for that. That being said, I think if executed properly, this could have been a pretty good machinima, so don't take it personally and try to learn from this. Next we have Reanimated by Deltarayquaza. This is a Halo Reach machinima that I have no idea what it's about, and that is part of the problem. It received 15 points, placed 10th, and received a 6 out of 10 from me. I felt the other judges were pretty harsh with this production, but I couldn't find enough reason to rate it as badly as they did. It just kinda seemed like you were screwing around, not trying to make anything serious. This is the kind of thing I would use for test footage, so for that reason I couldn't possibly see you winning this contest, but you know, keep at it, man. I'd like to see some more stuff from you. Next up we have The Bar by Kobol Films. This is a Minecraft machinima about a Russian guy who walks into the wrong bar. I gave this a 5 out of 10. It received a total of 18 points and placed 9th. Now, why it was placed here was because of these reasons. Your shots I felt were zoomed out too far. Once again, zooming in will create a more cinematic effect. You broke the 180-degree rule on several occasions, although the shots are closer to facing characters directly rather than being on the left or right of the screen. I know Minecraft have like box faces, so you have to look at the front of the face, but I think you could have used a more diagonal kind of angle so you could still place one character on the left and one character on the right. The story was hard to follow and somewhat random. You kind of have to piece it together after you watch it. It's a bit confusing at parts. Part of that is because the main character, the Russian guy, spoke kind of quietly and at times was difficult to understand. And then you have a choppy transition near the beginning. Overall, this was a decent machinima, but there's nothing spectacular about it. And by the way, Kobol Films, don't worry, man, you submitted like 3 productions, remember? Just wait for Pandora's box. Wink, wink. But, yeah. Next up, we have Banana and Cabbage War by MrRestlessProduction. This is a Halo Reach machinima that's about 2 different colored illies fighting. So yeah, it's an action scene. This received a total of 20 points, placing 8th, and I rated it a 6 out of 10. The use of camera work was pretty good considering it was an action machinima. It followed stuff like the rule of thirds pretty well. The 180-degree rule is not applicable because during action scenes you might actually want to create a sense of chaos. The voice acting at the beginning wasn't synced in volume with the background music, in addition to being in Sangeli tongue and not subtitled, which makes it almost pointless anyways. The story is almost non-existent, and I think that's what cost you the most points with my other judges. At certain points the video will abruptly cut to black, and I don't think there's any reason for this whatsoever. You could have done something about that. Anyways, man, I've been watching your videos for a long time, and you've done a lot of great action scenes, which are actually really hard to do, I admit, but I've always wanted to see you do a story-driven machinima. I know you'd be great at it. But pretty good overall. The one thing I think everyone criticized you for was the fact that you didn't really have a story, and well, I'm just nitpicking. But yeah, if you like action sequences, go check out MrRestlessProduction's channel. The link is in the description. Bleh. Okay. Next up, we have Sing to It by 3S Videos. This is a Halo 4 machinima, and I don't really know how to describe what this one's about. You have to watch it. I rated this 6 out of 10, and it received a total of 25 points, placing 7th. Some of the problems with it were that shots were zoomed out too far. The rule of thirds was bad, and what I mean by that was like the camera was pointed directly at the person, like the characters were placed right in the middle of the shot, and I think that's bad. Also, although you didn't break the 180-degree rule, you had shots that were closer to facing characters head-on rather than facing on one side. But if you look closely, you can tell that it's actually on one character's on the right, one character's on the left, but you have to be looking closely, which I think is a mistake. Your entire machinima is composed of like 2 shots, which isn't a huge problem, but I think it'd be better if you used maybe a couple different shots. You know, maybe one shot with zooming into the character, changing angles or whatever, because you know, just keep it fresh. You know, you have an intentional continuity error, which I mean, I guess is kind of my personal opinion. I think it would be better if it were avoided. Like, you could have done something about that. Like, you could have, I don't know, like zoomed in really far and then zoomed out to reveal that he was beside you, or I don't know, something. But you know, overall, this is a very well-written comedic machinima, but once again, I had to take points off for the camera work, which I think could use a little work. Fix up your camera work and you'd be awesome. Also, was one of the voice actors in this video a voice actor for April Fools by Tri-Titan Productions? Just asking. But yeah, check out 3S Video's channel. He makes a lot of pretty good comedic machinimas. I really enjoyed watching this one. Speaking of April Fools, the next video is April Fools by Tri-Titan Productions. This is a Halo 4 machinima that, well, I also don't really want to describe what it's about. It's a comedy, you know, go check it out. I really enjoyed watching it myself, so, yeah. It received a total of 26 points, placing 6th, and I rated it a 7 out of 10. I thought that it was a very well-written machinima, but I had to take points off for the camera work once again. Unlike Sing to It, it had a different camera work problem. Like, the camera work was pretty good overall, it's just there was a few problems with your editing specifically. Nearly every one of your shots starts as a still image, and if you know some of the rules of animation, one of them is that you don't ever have still frames, because still frames make everything look dead. So it's a rule you don't really want to break, and you should try to avoid having still shots at the beginning of your shots. You know, still images at the beginning of your shots. It's just bad, so don't do that. Also, you broke the 180-degree rule during a conversation scene. You placed both characters on the left of the screen. So yeah, just, you know, fix that up, and this would be, you'd make like awesome videos. Like, I love watching your videos. I checked out your channel. It's pretty awesome. But you always have, like, I don't know, one or two camera / editing mistakes. But yeah, if you fix those up, you'd be like right up there, man. Like, honestly. So yeah, go check out his channel, Titan Productions, and take a look. Yeah. So next up, we have Random Action Movie by Flamin' Waffle. This is a Halo 4 machinima, and it's about a Spartan fighting a Mantis. So this received a 26 points, placing 5th, and I rated it at 8 out of 10. The reason for this is he had overall pretty good camera work. He had one choppy transitioning shot that I could see, and the story was almost non-existent, although the plot, the threat was actually developed rather than just thrown at you. So I didn't take quite as many points off for it as I did with some of the other machinimas that had no story. But yeah, I gotta say, good job, man. You know, for an action sequence, this was pretty damn smooth. I mean, it's hard to find faults in your work, and I couldn't have done better myself. So, also, cool use of After Effects, man. I think most of the other judges were too harsh because of the fact that this was really just a random action movie, but that is what it's called. It's not like I was expecting some sort of dramatic voice acting and stuff. I mean, come on, but yeah. Nicely done, Flamin' Waffle. But yeah, go check out his channel. It's FLAM1NWAFFL3X. Almost as confusing as mine. But yeah. Anyways, next up we have Warzone Part 3 by Blake C. Machinima. This is a Halo Reach machinima, and it's part of a series. And I'd highly recommend going to check out that series. It's on his channel, Blake C. Machinima. This received a total of 26 points, placing 5th. I rated it a 7 out of 10. The camera work was pretty good overall, but he broke the 180-degree rule during the conversation near the beginning, and he had a choppy transition during the action scene. But I'm just nitpicking again. It's what he did was really difficult, and although there's some choppy shot transitions and camera work issues, I don't think that it was enough to take away from the atmosphere he was able to create. I know it's pretty damn hard to work with that number of body actors effectively, but you did it, so nice. I recommend watching the other parts of the series again that are on his channel, links in the description. Next up, we have War of Treason Part 1 by Supernova Productions, or Toxic Shroom Industries. I don't know what he's called now. This is a Halo Reach machinima, and it's a sneak peek to a series he was going to start, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen. This received a total of 29 points, placing 4th, and I rated it a 7 out of 10. This was kind of, this camera work was pretty good overall. A few problems I had with it was, voice actors, myself included, I think spoke too close to the microphone. Although, not directly the fault of the director should still have done a bit of screening with the lines and asked the voice actors to please speak further away from the microphone. You had, a couple choppy shot transitions near the end, and, yeah, that's about all the criticism I have to give. This was a kind of slow-moving machinima. Deldour thought taking footage directly from the Halo 4 campaign was pretty bad, but I didn't think it was as much of a problem. I think it functioned pretty well as a sneak peek. It developed the plot pretty well and ended just when it looked like things were about to start happening. Because of the good camera work, I had to rate this pretty high, but I feel it took a little bit too long to get going, if you know what I mean. Next up, we have Pandora's Box by Kobol Films. Now, Kobol Films, this is your redemption. This is a Minecraft machinima, and I thought it was pretty damn well done. It was about some dude telling a story about how he found and opened Pandora's box. So yeah, wink wink. Go check that out, man. Seriously, it's awesome. Yeah, this received a total of 29.5 points, placing 3rd, and it received a 6 out of 10 from me. I had to rate you somewhat badly because you did break the 180-degree rule again. I think you zoomed out too far, but not nearly as bad as some of your other videos. I think it was zoomed in pretty good, so yeah. You had a somewhat bad rule of thirds. Most of the problem with your breaking the 180 degree rule is that you used a flat shot of the characters again, except because it was a restaurant, some of the shots actually looked nearly identical with the different characters, so it was a little bit confusing. Overall, it's pretty good, compared to the other ones especially. Well, Kobol Films, I'm sorry about your other two videos, but this one did pretty well. I mean, third place isn't bad, huh? But anyways, this is a pretty awesome machinima. The writing was excellent. The voice acting was pretty good, although I think the blue guy could have talked a little louder. He was kind of quiet. The bad camera work isn't nearly much of an issue because it's based around the blue guy telling a story, so I still found it enjoyable to watch. Go check it out on his channel. The link's in the description. So next up we have Fat Man by Zahir 6 Dark Spartan Studios, or Mr. Zahir 1234567H. This is a Halo 3 machinima, and actually the only Halo 3 machinima that was submitted into my contest, so props, man, props. But yeah, this received a 32.5 overall, placing second, and I rated it an 8 out of 10. The camera work is pretty good overall. The only technical mistake I can see is that he broke the 180 degree rule during the fight scene near the end, which wouldn't be a problem. It's just because the characters were talking during the fight scene, I think you still needed to follow that rule. Overall, man, this is pretty well written comedic machinima. Good use of effects. The only problem I have was during the fight scene. Once again, you broke the 180 degree rule several times. But yeah, I'd definitely go check it out. The link is in the description. It's pretty enjoyable to watch. And now, the grand finale. Who won first? Nobody knows. And I'm going to start talking about nothing. Yeah, man, I'm thirsty. Wish I had an Arizona. But yeah, let's get into it. Next up we have, in first place, The Aftermath by Mercurial Studios. This is a Halo Reach machinima that is kind of a horror machinima. It's about, well, you should watch it. It's pretty awesome. This received a total of 34 points out of 40, and I rated it an 8 out of 10. The camera work is pretty good overall. You broke the 180 degree rule during conversation scenes, and yeah, that's about it. That's all the criticism I have to give. This was a very well done, atmospheric, horror-style machinima. The lighting helps keep a dark sort of mood, and the sound effects like the music and the radiation counter really help create suspense. Other than the 180 degree rule break during a few conversations, it was beautifully executed. Good job. I'd definitely go check out his channel at Mercurial Studios and see his other videos. The link's in the description, so yeah, since you won, I do have some Microsoft points you can redeem or whatever, but not a lot. It's something. But yeah, isn't it better just knowing that you won? I mean, come on. But yeah, anyways guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and good work. Thanks to all the directors who participated. I hope to see some more awesome videos from all you guys, and I really appreciate the amount of support this contest received. So thank you again, everyone who participated. Good work, and later guys, I hope to be seeing you soon.